Welcome to Cellopedia, this is Maxim. I made this video to help you to transform your playing from amateur to professional. It's not about fancy fingerings or exotic positions. It's all about how you move your bow. Detaché is the foundation of clear, beautiful and expressive cello sound. And in this short video, I'll guide you step by step through several important exercises to make your playing better. It will be much easier for you to follow this lesson if you download free music and print it out or put it on your screen so you can follow. And at the end of this video, we will work on a special etude I composed for this lesson, which I believe will be extremely useful in learning Detaché. In Detaché, we move bow in alternate directions, down bow and up bow. And the trick is to maintain constant bow speed and pressure to avoid sudden accents. But let's wait no more and play. The first exercise for us is to play open strings. And we'll start on G string. Let's make one long note down and one note up and observe what is happening. Have you tried it playing with me? It's actually much harder to make a consistent sound. What you have to pay attention to is that your bow speed remains the same throughout the bow stroke. And the angle of the bow allows you to stay on the same spot. You shouldn't see your bow moving up or down, like this. If it happens, you have to adjust the bow angle. Usually on the lower strings, you have to turn your bow this way, the frog closer to yourself. Let's now try playing it on the D string. This time, to maintain the same position of the bow on the string, you had to turn the bow slightly that way, the frog a little bit away from yourself. And we shouldn't forget to pay attention to bow changes. When it's time to change the bow, you have to make sure that your wrist is turned slightly towards the stick of the bow, this way. And when it moves to the lower part of the bow, your wrist will turn to the normal position again. Now let's try two long bow strokes on the C string. Right away, you should adjust the angle of the bow. If it helps, your point of reference might be that the bow is right in between those two corners of the cello, two corners of C bout, and your bow should be positioned like that. Let's try it right away. Each string has a bit different character, and definitely when you move to the lower string, you have to be more active. You have to maintain a bit firmer touch between the bow and the string. And we shouldn't forget to play on the A string. Again, different angle. Your bow should feel as if it goes away from you. And we'll play two long notes on the A string. The A string is very thin compared to other strings. You have to maintain a bit lighter touch to make about the same volume as you did on other strings. Listen to the sound you are making We're not going to measure that. It's all about the kind of sound you want to achieve. I think you're ready for the next step. Let's now play using half of the bow. You will be able to play faster notes. Let's imagine before you were playing the whole notes, now you will be playing half notes. We'll start on the A string. 4 notes. Then we will move to the D string. When you move to the D string, make sure that you slightly adjust the bow angle. While making string crossing, you also turn the bow to a few degrees, from this position to this position. And the same will be happening when you'll be moving to the G string and to C string. I think now we can put it all together. We'll play 4 notes on A string, 4 notes on D, on G, and on C. Did your bow move all over the fingerboard, or you managed to control it? Well, this exercise is just for that. Besides adjusting an angle and making sure that your wrist is relaxed and approximately in this position, you also need to keep an eye on the bow so it doesn't go too close to the fingerboard or to the bridge. The next step, let's try to play the same 4 notes on each string using the upper part of the bow. We will be starting in the middle and we would go all over to the tip of the bow. Using this part of the bow will require you to turn your wrist this way so it will be turned towards the stick of the bow. Pay attention to your pinky. When you play in the upper part of the bow, it might be that your pinky will actually not be touching the bow stick, and it's perfectly fine. If you observe violinists, they actually bring it to extreme. There is no goal to lift your pinky, but if you slightly turn your wrist towards the bow stick, that might as well happen that your pinky will end up being in the air. And our next step will be using less bow, playing faster notes. Let's imagine that now we are playing quarter notes. You will stay in the middle part of the bow and we will play 4 notes on each string. It will work this way. You notice that there is a brief pause between the notes. It helps us to distinguish each note from another. But there is a big difference between just gently stopping the bow to change its direction and making a deliberate accent. If you actually use accents, That will make it to sound closer to martelé, different bow stroke, which we're not going to be discussing today. So far we tried all different notes on open strings. Let's add the left hand. And I would suggest playing easy scale, say C major scale in 2 octaves. We will use all the skills moving from string to string you just acquired playing on open strings, and we will add the left hand, which will make it possible to practice coordination between left hand and the right hand. When you play it on your own, try not just listen to intonation, how precise your left hand is, but also compare each note, especially on different strings. You should be able to play the scale in such a way that we can say, okay, the entire scale it's mezzo piano or mezzo forte. There shouldn't be the case when some of the notes will sound much louder, some much softer. Beginning of the some notes will be very clear and other notes might sound somewhat fuzzy. This brings extra complexity to practicing a scale, and therefore you will be mastering not just the left hand but Detaché bow stroke. And now let's play the Detaché exercise which I composed for this lesson. Remember, you can download everything for this lesson via the link in the description. I hope you like this cheerful little etude. There are so many colors we can make just using the bow, moving it right and left. Let's keep practicing. I hope to see you on Cellopedia soon.